All right, it's that time of year. We got some rumors, we got some weird things, we got teams still trying to fill out their rosters. I think everybody thinks that we're in the time of year where no more signings are going to happen, no more free agent signings, no more trades. It's just not true. And while it is a unique time of year for it to happen, usually teams wait till they start getting into training camp and things like that. Other teams want to have players in for a tryout to get into their training camp early. And former wide receiver of the Seahawks, radio host on Seattle Sports 710, Michael Bumpus, the Bump. He has a player that he thinks the Seahawks need to be signing. So I'm gonna share this screen with all of you so you can see it along with me. Here's what he had to say, and then I will give my opinion on it. It might be different than what you think. He said, "What I need is a guy to be a depth piece who's been there, who's done that." That sounds so good so far, Bumpus. He said, and there's a man by the name of Jalen Smith who is a free agent right now. Okay, pause. Before we go too much further, I'm going to give you his argument. If you don't know who Jalen Smith is, this is a guy, I want to say Notre Dame is where he played. He was that classic, like, why you don't play in the bowl game when you're going to be a first round pick. He, I believe, tore his ACL and didn't play his first year in the league. And then I think his second year in the league, he actually made the Pro Bowl. Like, he was really, really good. Uh, really good. But anyways, I want to continue on to what he said, why Bumpus said you would like him. He said, "You don't need to have him come in and be a starter right now. You need him to bring that veteran presence. You need him to be a solid backup. You need him to contribute on special teams, and he's not going to cost much," he said of Smith. He's at a position in his career where he's bounced around a few teams, the Giants, Dallas, and the Green Bay Packers. You can bring him here, and just like Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll likes to do, resurrect his career. You have Devin Bush to start, and obviously Bobby Wagner is going to start, but you need a solid backup. I like Nick Bellora. I like Radigan, but I want to see a true linebacker, a guy who's been there, who has done that. Okay, everybody, let's talk about this. How do you feel about having Jalen Smith come in here? How do you feel about having him come in here? Are you excited about it? I'm not. So I'm just going to be dead honest with you. You've already got Bobby Wagner. Yep, you already have Ballore. You have Radigan. I think Ballore, Radigan, Jordan Brooks, Devin Bush, I think they're all better. You want that guy who's going to come in and bring a veteran presence and resurrect his career after an injury? You already have him. His name is Devin Bush. Both guys tore the ACL. Devin Bush just did it while he was already in the pros. All right. Smith did it while he was in college. Go and watch tape of Jalen Smith for the Giants. Watch tape of this guy for the Packers. He's not a good linebacker. He's a bad linebacker. This is not what you want in Seattle. I really don't think it is. When you watch him play, it looks like his knees hurt. He so often just goes straight into blocks. I don't know why I still have this up there. I'm sorry. He often just takes the blocker on head on and just gets buried backward. Like, he used to be so good because he'd be able to use his speed. He could be multiple. He's not that guy anymore. He gets bulldozed over. It looks like his head isn't quite in it because he's used to being such a good athlete. I think now his head's almost sped up because his head says, I'm going to do this. His mind says, I'm going to do this, but his body's like, I'm sorry. You just can't anymore. And so, no, I don't necessarily think that this is a good thing. The last time we saw this guy make a Pro Bowl was 2017 or 2019, I think it was. By 2021, the Cowboys waived him after they couldn't find a trade partner for him in the middle of the season. Nobody wanted him. At least nobody wanted him enough to trade for him. This isn't a great pickup. It's unreal how bad he was. There's one play for the Giants against the Colts where he went in, he got through the line, he breaks through, he goes to sack Nick Foles. somehow thinks he got rid of the ball or something. So he just runs into him with his arms like this, bounces off, realizes Nick Foles still has the ball. Nick Foles throws it downfield. I don't think he made a completion anyway, but like, oh my goodness, it was nuts. You see him playing for the Packers, just getting driven back by play after play after play. It's not going well. He's been released by the Packers. He's not playing for the Giants. He's been released. So they let him go. He's been released by the Cowboys. Be happy with your linebacking core. Be happy with your linebacking core. Taylor, Brooks, Wagner, Radigan, Bush, Mafe, Ballore, Bright. There are Tyreek Smith. There are players upon players here that I would rather have than Jalen Smith. I understand the name. I understand what he used to be. I get it. But how many times is he going to go from team to team to team? And I get it. Maybe Pete Carroll can work his magic and make something happen. And I think he's willing to do that with a man named Devin Bush. Devin Bush is a good player. And I don't want people to think that he's not. I want you to remember what he was when he was playing early on with the Steelers. Like, he was really good early on in his career. You know, not everybody is. I'm a fan of PFF, and his PFF grades early on were not bad at all. But one thing, even when he didn't play as many snaps, but he still was playing a lot of snaps. Don't get me wrong. He's played almost over 700 snaps in 2021, almost 700 in 2022. And he still has a tackling grade that's shockingly high, 79.1 and 85.7 the last 2 years. Like, this dude already, he's outgrading, he's outplaying, he's outproducing, and he's younger by 5 years than Smith. You already got your Jalen Smith. You already have your ridiculous athlete. Stick with it. It's okay. You're going to enjoy it. Seattle, you have a good roster. If you want to put some resources into something, put it in the offensive line. Put it in the defensive line. Everything else, your position players, all set. You're all set. You're all set even in the defensive backfield right now. Absolutely set. So Bobby Wagner's there. There's some good young talent. Let that happen. Go to the D-line or the O-line if you want to spend some more Reese's right now. Resources, not Reese's. Maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I want a Reese's peanut butter cup. You know, who loves a Reese's peanut butter cup? What about Reese's sticks? Let's just get a little weird right now and talk about that. And then I think the other question, I remember these commercials. I'm old enough to remember the Reese's commercials of how do you eat a Reese's? And I just want it to be known. Don't unsubscribe to this channel because you don't agree with how I eat a Reese's. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get vulnerable with you guys right now. I eat around the outside. I eat around the outside of the Reese's, and I save just the ratio where it's more peanut butter than chocolate. It's so good. By the way, I often do the same thing with a cheeseburger. I eat around the outside first. Yeah, I'm kind of weird. You're learning stuff. Seahawks, it's going to be a good year. We'll keep doing content. Can't wait for training camp. Can't wait for the preseason. Definitely can't wait for the regular season. Keep checking in here for good Seahawks news and reporting. We'll see you on the next one.